Welcome to 5 Minutes with Dad, starring Pavlos and Angela Pavlidis, where you get to spend a few minutes with the smartest and coolest kids in the whole world, and their dad, too. And now, here are your hosts, Pavlos, Angela, and Nick Pavlidis.
Hey everybody, this is Nick Pavlidis, and thank you so much for being here for another episode of 5 Minutes with Dad. This is the podcast where you get to listen in on a little father-son or daddy-daughter time with me, my 6-year-old son Pavlos, and my 4-year-old daughter Angela. Before I play today's episode, I'm going to give you a heads up that it is a special episode because you're not going to hear Pavlos or Angela. You're going to hear something that I want to do more of, but I had such a great opportunity. I've been traveling for the last 2 months, so it's been a little bit of a struggle getting the episodes together. But on my travels, I got to meet again for the 4th or 5th time a really cool young guy who is doing some awesome stuff, some entrepreneurial stuff at a young age. And he is Diego Slingerland. He is the son of friends of mine, Jamie and Ruthie, who are really great people and are raising some pretty awesome kids. Diego has a little business that he has been growing, and he is putting himself out there, and it's so cool. He's doing events, and he is selling these slinger bands, what he calls it, these homemade rubber band made jewelry. And I have seen it places, but Diego is doing something really, really cool with it. So he sat down with me for a few minutes so I could interview him about that. And it's a way that he is saving up and he is investing in the business and he's helping his mom and dad out in their business. So he's just a really cool guy. And I wanted to have him on 5 Minutes with Dad. And he announced, his dad told me, and he want to give away some slinger bands for Christmas time. So if you want to be on the list, sign up for our newsletter at 5minuteswithdad.com, and we'll do a random drawing and send people some slinger bands in time for Christmas. It's an awesome stocking stuffer, and it would be really, really cool to know that you're supporting a young kid who's building a business on his own. If you want more information, he doesn't have a website, but I set up a 5 Minutes with Dad email address. You'll hear me tell him that in the episode. You can email Diego, Diego, at 5minuteswithdad.com, and his dad will help him connect with people if they want to purchase some slinger bands. He can do them in whatever color you want, make you a nice bracelet or a little keychain or I guess a ring. I don't know what else he could do, but he's a really creative guy. He's a really cool guy. I'm not going to take up any more time today. Next week, be ready because Pavlos and Angela are back with episodes. And if your kid is doing something great, email me, Nick at 5minuteswithdad.com. We can do an interview with you and your kid on the other line through Skype, and we can record it and get it up because I want to start highlighting some more people because kids do some pretty awesome things, and I want to honor them for it. All right. Enjoy the show. So I am here. This is something really new that we're doing on 5 Minutes with Dad. I'm here with the founder of Slinger Bands, Diego Slingerland. Diego, this is the first time we've done this on 5 Minutes with Dad. We've had some cool kids come on with me and Pavlos and Angela, but I wanted to get you on the microphone so you can inspire other kids with all of the cool things you did. Diego and I just did an event together in Nashville, Tennessee, in Franklin, Tennessee, where a bunch of artists and authors and other creatives, all of us got together and we showed our writing, our products, our services, our art, and even sold them. And Diego was, I believe, Diego sold the most product out of anybody, and he sold almost maybe 50 slinger bands or something, some incredible number of slinger bands. So Diego, welcome to 5 Minutes with Dad.
Hi.
Hey, and I got the privilege of seeing Diego knock some baseballs around at his baseball practice earlier in the day. So Diego, tell everybody about how you got started with slinger bands and tell them a little bit about yourself, how old you are, where you live, and one really cool thing about you.
Well, in Buffalo, New York, I was going to this corner store to buy my little brother milk, and I found the little looms on the shelf.
So tell everybody what are slinger bands so they know what the looms are and what they're for.
They're like little bracelets.
Yeah, so they're really cool bracelets where he takes a bunch of, I think they're elastics, but real stretchy material.
They're made out of rubber bands, and you can just like make little keychains and really cool bracelets.
Yeah, so I have bracelets for Pavlos and Angela, or that I bought a couple times ago because I come down to Nashville from time to time, and I just got some keychains to bring them home that I know they're going to love. They always love the fact that their friend Diego, who they have never met in person, but who they know through me and my friends, that he sat there and spent his time, took his time, invested his money, because as everybody on 5 Minutes with Dad knows, the kids get their coins and they give, save, spend, and invest. And he invested his money to build up slinger bands and to buy the materials to build the slinger bands that they get to either wear on their arm or put their keys on, and they love it. So Diego, tell everybody, how old are you?
I am 10 years old.
And how long have you been making slinger bands?
Probably for about a year now.
How did you get started in wanting to either have a business or take slinger bands from perhaps a hobby to something where you share it with other people?
Well, I'm not actually sure. I just thought of just selling them.
Does your dad or mom, does anyone else help you with either the business part of it or building or some ideas?
My mom helps me with the patterns, and my dad helps me with the different colors.
Yeah, your dad and mom are in business too, right?
Yeah.
And they got a really cool business where they help people get cameras so they can learn in school and take really cool pictures, and they get them really cool cameras for that they might not have been able to get themselves, right?
Yep.
Do you help them out in there?
Yes, sometimes I clean them.
Yeah, that's really cool because the cameras that they find for people are used cameras, really quality cameras that are hard to find sometimes, and sometimes they come dirty. So you make sure that they are really clean and ready to go, so when people get them, they can start taking really cool pictures, right?
Yes.
So you have business in your blood. Let's back away from the business a little bit because you're slinger bands. Do you have a way for people to get in touch with you if they want to order slinger bands?
Well, not really, but
I have an idea. I think we should set up an email address that I'm going to tell your dad about, and we'll have it be Diego@5minuteswithdad.com, because you are an honorary member of 5 Minutes with Dad. And if someone wants to get slinger bands, they can email Diego@5minuteswithdad.com, and your dad can help you out to connect with people and perhaps even send them some slinger bands if they want to buy them. How about that?
I love that.
Awesome. So we're going to do that. Diego@5minuteswithdad.com. If you want some slinger bands, I'm going to post some pictures of the slinger bands that I have on the show notes at 5minuteswithdad.com/Diego. And we will do something really fun too. We are starting we have our newsletter. We haven't been very active with the newsletter, but we will do, anyone who signs up for the newsletter, we will do a giveaway where we get some slinger bands and we send them to them. Maybe we'll do a giveaway of the first 5 people that we draw out. So just sign up at 5minuteswithdad.com. You'll see the newsletter, and we'll pick 5 email addresses, and Diego will send them some slinger bands courtesy of 5minuteswithdad.com. How about that, Diego?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, let's back a little bit away from business because this is awesome. And I love the slinger bands. I love the creativity and just going for it. Are you saving up, or what are you doing with the money that you make from slinger bands?
Well, for the most part, I'm getting more rubber bands to make more, and I might just get up a little tablet or something like that.
Awesome. I love that because that shows other kids out there that if there's something that they want, they don't need to go to their parents or to someone else for money, but they can think, how can I earn the money to get that? Because later on, 2 years from now, if you want to get a bicycle, or 5 or 10 years from now, you want to get a car, in your mind, it's not who can I find to get the money from? It's what can I do? How many slinger bands do I need to sell to get the tablet? Or is there something else I can sell? What else? What other creative things do I have in my brain or efforts that I can make where I can get money from other people by giving them something cool that they love, like these slinger bands, and they will give me money and I can get it. So it helps you create things that help you get things and do things that are important to you. So tell me one thing about your dad that inspires you. Cool? All right.
Well, he really helps me a lot with the bracelets, and I do a lot of things with him in the office.
Yeah, I know your dad. Your dad's a really good friend of mine. And when your dad talks about you, he is so excited about all the things you're doing, about how nice you are to your family and how loving you are and how really creative you've been and how you take these steps. And it is so incredible to see you do it so early, because a lot of us and a lot of grown-ups are afraid to do it. But you're so brave and you're so talented that your dad's really proud about that and how nice you are and how you are impacting the world so well. Is that pretty cool?
It is very cool.
Okay, so I love that you spent some time with me. Thank you so much, Diego, for spending time with 5 Minutes with Dad. I know that kids out there are going to love it. Adults are going to be inspired. You have one thing you want to say to everybody in 5 Minutes with Dad world before we let them go?
I'm looking forward to doing this again, and that's all.
Yes. So in a few months, we're going to check back in with Diego, because Diego is such a cool part of our world. And we'll do this giveaway. Sign up. We're going to put a timeline on it. I'll talk about it later on in an episode, but we'll make sure that you get your slinger bands in time to give them perhaps in some stockings for Christmas. How about that, Diego?
Yes.
All right. So there you have it. A very special episode of 5 Minutes with Dad in the books. If you want to get on the list for the drawing for free slinger bands, head on over and hurry up. We're probably going to close it down in a week or two, and then send or reach out to the winners and let them know that they won their slinger bands. So head on over to 5minuteswithdad.com, sign up for the newsletter, and you'll be on the list. We're keeping it real simple. And if you just want to purchase some for the holidays and support Diego and support his entrepreneurial endeavors, his dreams, you can email Diego at 5minuteswithdad.com. Of course, that is our resource of the week, the Slinger Bands, which is kind of fun. He even put a really creative name based on his last name for the business, and it makes sense because they are bands. All right, we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to 5 Minutes with Dad. To connect with Pavlos, Angela, and Nick, subscribe to the 5 Minutes with Dad newsletter at 5minuteswithdad.com.